Hi.
Good evening. Hello. Hi, my name's Barry.
And I'm Jay.
And we are Mitosu Crafts.
And this is Minnie.
And we have Minnie joining us
Yay.
tonight. No, Tommy. Where's Tommy?
Tommy's on,
Tommy's
the
here.
side. Yes.
Yes, so thank you for joining us. So we're going to do a demonstration for you this evening. And
Yes, I thought you were going to say, yes, if you're new to the channel, we're Mitosu Crafts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrators based in the UK. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up products from our online shop, and links can be found below. It's worth considering to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy yourself as we create card making and paper craft inspiration every week. So say hi as soon as you pop in. We'll do a giveaway, a random giveaway at the end of the video for the card that Barry will be creating this evening, or a free tutorial, one of our online class if you live globally.
Yes.
Hi Cheryl, hi Connie, thanks for joining us.
yes, I'm just getting the
You're just setting up.
So
So before we start, I'll just quickly show some of the cards that we blogged and created for our Facebook Live. So this one we blogged last week, and I recreated this for our Facebook Live. We'll be uploading the video onto YouTube hopefully soon when Barra edits it. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yes, he did ask me 2 days ago and I forgot.
So this is using the dies, forever flourishing dies to emboss.
Stampin' Up haven't been kind to Jay this year because there's lots
There's
of
so
F's
many
and
Fs.
B's.
I can't.
Oh,
Minnie. Oh.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So I can't say my F's. I change it to P's if you haven't noticed. But yes. So so die emboss, or as Jenny Maguire would say, die impression. So we must have had the same wavelength there. And a second card that I created, that will be my phone, using the back of the die as well. And this one, Barry created. Oh, the sleeve I created for Barry's 3D cube pop-up box. And some more details can be found on our blog, and a video tutorial as well on our page. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's lovely. So this one uses the Tasteful Touches bundle, which is the stamps and the dies. Tasteful labels, dies. Stop laughing. As well as the flowers for every season, another F, which Barry will be actually using for the card tonight.
Yes, I'm going to be using the jar of flowers this evening, and the paper, the flowers for every season design series paper, which is what I'm going to be using tonight to do a bit of. And I'm using quite a lot of products this evening.
You just wanted to show them.
I just wanted to show off as many as possible on one card. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm using a lot of the in colours tonight. The new papers, new stamp sets, new cardstock. Yes, lots of new stuff. And one which I'm really excited to use is this lovely punch here, the lovely labels punch, which I'm looking forward to using tonight as well.
Cool. So yeah, so all of the products that you'll see Barry using tonight, you'll be able to purchase on our online shop, as mentioned before. Do use the host code on our blog for orders on our online shop, and you'll get an extra thank you from us next month. As well as if you order over £45, you'll get a free tutorial bundle by the Stamping Glam Squad. And if you do have a lot on your wish list, it's a great time to join Stampin' Up and our team, as you get free bundle with your starter kit, and you can choose the products on your starter kit. Only £99, and you get £130 worth of products of your choice, plus a free bundle as well.
Of your choice.
Yes, of your choice. So great offer to be had.
It is.
Cool.
So,
So let's crack on,
let's
and
crack
Barry
on.
will show you some stuff.
Excellent. Okay, so let's flip you round. Joe's going to sort out the video for me. And if you can make sure you collate the names as well.
Yeah, that is what. Hi, Betty.
Okay, so yes, we're going to collect all of the names together from everyone who has who's with us. So please comment, leave us, let us know what you think. Got any questions? Pop them in the sidebar for us. We're going to collect all the names together. We're going to do a random drawing at the end, and you can either, if you live in the UK, you can win the card. If you live outside of the UK, we will send you you can win a tutorial, online tutorial. So yes, so as mentioned, using this jar of flowers, and I'm also going to be using the Comfort and Hope stamp set. Now, I'm only really using the Comfort and Hope stamp set for the sentiment. So you can use any sentiment which you want, but I liked the sentiment on here, sending you a paper hug. So that's the one which I've decided to use. So I'm not actually using anything else, but the jar of flowers doesn't come with sentiments. It is just purely images, so which is why I've picked another stamp set which I like for the sentiment side of things. So that's the stamp set which I'm using. It's also reversible, so if you're wondering what this part is here, one side is the image, okay, and one side is the reverse side of the stamp, but it's exactly the same size as this one. So you can then ink up the back, and then you can create the water inside your jar. So you've got the one here, you've got the front, and then you've got the water. So I'm going to be doing that with this one here, so you can actually then see what I mean and how it actually works. But if you're wondering what these are, I've seen it in a catalogue, but I don't understand it. It's reversible, okay? So you can then do this in one colour, and then you can do the other one in another colour as well. All right, so that's those. Would also be, like I say, jar of flower. The Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. We've shown this off a couple of times now. I'm going to show you again because it's lovely. This is the pattern which I've decided to use this evening. Okay, so you've got a nice neutral, the Misty Moonlight blue on the back there, and these lovely sunflowers on this side here. This paper, this pattern is just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I just really like the bright, vibrant colours of the Magenta Madness here, and probably Poppy Parade, maybe. Red, I can't remember what colour it is.
Yeah, it is.
Is it Poppy Parade? Yes, it is. That one there. I was going to use this paper, but I decided I wanted to go with the sunflowers as well. And there's just some lovely patterns in here. So, flowers for every season. And I've seen that you've even got a Christmassy one in here as well. This is another one of my favourites, just this blue flowers. I think it's just beautiful. Christmassy one there again. And see on the back side you have the you have some neutral colours. So lots of bright, vibrant colours and some nice subtle colours as well. But they just work so well with each other. So I really, really like this packet of paper. Yeah, so much so I've actually used it a few times already. So, and I don't think there's not one pattern in there which I don't like. I think I like pretty much all of them. So, which is quite nice when you get a packet of paper, because you can find something which you always like. There's always, otherwise if you don't like everything in there, you're just going, you use up what you like too quickly, and then you don't know what to do with the rest of it. So that's that. I'm also going to be using the in colour enamel dots. So these are in every single colour. So you've got the Magenta Madness, your Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, Simmons Cider, and Bumblebee. So they're the colours which we're going to be using. So again, it coordinates perfectly. Also going to be using the Bumblebee cardstock, and I'm going to be using some of the Just Jade cardstock here.
Or, as you would say,
Just Jade.
Love it.
If anyone's wondering what I'm just saying there, Jay thinks, well, and it seems to be sticking now. A very well-known comedy program, Will and Grace. You've got Jack in there, and he goes Just Jack. So now we go Just Jade. So yes, but you can't do it without doing hand impressions. Just Jade. But I'm not going to do that by my face.
Why not?
All right, so there's paper. I am actually only going to be using a tiny bit of this paper actually, so you can make lots of these. I have also got myself a bit of Whisper White Thick because I'm going to be doing a bit of colouring with these, with the stamp set and with ink. So I've got myself Whisper White Thick because it holds the water better. And this is being cut to 8 centimetres by 14.1 centimetres, okay? So that's that, and obviously the tools which I'm going to be using and the colours, as we mentioned, the new ink colours. So we've got Misty Moonlight ink, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Cinnamon Cider. Okay, yeah, I will be using pretty much all of those, and some basics which I'm going to be using as well. Instead of using black for the colouring for the line art, I'm going to be using basic grey. I'm going to be using grey granite because it's for the flowers, because it's not as prominent, so therefore it blends in a little bit more. And I'm going to be using balmy blue for my water in my jar. Okay, the Lovely Labels punch is also going to be used, so this is a new one here as well. So product number 152883, and these are the sizes. Now we put a little label on here so it cuts 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, or 1 inch, or in centimeters 1.3, 1.9, and 2.5 centimeters. And these are the patterns which it cuts out. Really, really nice. I'm going to show you how we're going to use that this afternoon. Okay, and another one which I'm excited to use as well is the water painters. These are new this year, so they've been redesigned. And they come in this lovely little case as well, which is perfect. And they're not floating around in our toolbox anymore. And you've got three of them in here, and you've got one which has got the large, a large brush, large flat brush.
You got the F's as well.
You've got one there which is
Serves you right from laughing at
a brush tip, a bigger brush tip, okay, and then one which I'm going to be using is more of a fine tip brush tip, which is this one here, perfect for colouring. Because I'm actually going to be colouring using these and my inks, okay. So I'm going to show you. So if you haven't got the blends, or if you haven't got all of the blends, you can still quite easily colour with all of these as well. But you will obviously need yourself a water painter to be able to do it. I would highly recommend these water painters. I absolutely love them. We liked the original ones which Stampin' Up did as well, but I think the new ones, not only are they cheaper, which is great, but you get 3 different sizes and they come in a case. It's just great. Love it. Okay. All right, normal things: scissors, glue, take your pick tool, bone folder, the normal things you would probably have in your stash anyway. All right, so that's that. If you've got any questions, then please make sure that you say. Jay is keeping an eye on the comments. So yeah, so I'm going to cut my base down. Okay, so this is 21 centimeters scored at 10.5, and this is 14.6. So 14.6 by 21, score it at 10.5. Gives me my card base. Okay, then I am going to grab my designer series paper. Now literally I only need a tiny bit of this, so I'm going to bring my trimmer in, and I'm just going to cut myself a 1 inch strip off. That's all I really need on this 1 inch strip. Might even just go a little bit. I might just go I'm going to go 1 3/4, just to be on the safe side, so that I've got a little bit of playroom, because it's going to overlap a little bit. And then I'm going to
give the inches as well, please. Imperial
sorry.
measurements.
So 1 3/4 inches by 3.2 centimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to be doing this at 14.1 centimeters, which is 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And 9/16 of an inch, so 5 and 9/16, or 14.1.
Okay. What was the width again? You said 1
1 3/4.
But it's not though. Was it all the way down?
1 1/4, sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to double check. I saw it. I was like, That doesn't look like
1 1/4, not 1 3/4. It's because I was looking at 3 1/4. So in my head, I said it in my head. I said it wrong. 3, and I'm going for 3 centimeters. I work quite easily in centimeters and inches. I flick between the two. I'd flick between the two very easily. So I'm looking at 3 centimeters and looking at 1/4 of an inch, and I come up with 1 3/4 inches. So please bear with me. All right.
Hi Sharon, hi Helen, hi Danielle, hi Esther, Vicky, and Betty. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, if you do the...
Okay, all right, yeah, I will. So with the card base then, so we've done that in centimetres. So that there is, oh, here we go. It's going to test me. 5 3/4 of an inch by 21 centimetres, which is 8 1/4. See, Jay works easily by 10 and scored at 10 1/2, which is
4 1/8.
4 1/8 of an inch. See, you're going to have to write all of this down for me in inches. Okay, that's that. We have my Whisper White Thick, which is then going to be the same, and that's going to go over like this. So you can see that's all I'm going to be using with the Designer Series paper, but that's all I need. All right. So we're going to do the stamping and the colouring now on this. So I'm going to grab the good old Jar of Flowers stamp set. Going to grab the jar. Can I have the scrub, please, Jay? Oh, it's
It should be there, yeah.
I can see a cat hair on it. Good, all right, and now I'm going to be stamping the jar in the basic grey, because I didn't want to go with black, I just wanted to go with a grey, so it's not as intense, but it's still dark. So I'm going to line that up with, in the middle, somewhere down towards the bottom third, and we're going to stamp in like so. And there we go, there's our jar. I'll stamp it clean. You know me, I need to tidy and put away as I go. I can't do what Jay does, but plus I have only got 1 block with me as well. So I will be using the sunflower one again in this one, because I've picked a sunflower design on the Designer Series paper. And I'm going to stamp these in the grey granite, so because I'm going to colour them in, they will then, the dark lines won't show up as much. And I like grey granite because it's a warm grey, whereas smoky slate and basic grey are what I class as a cold grey. Okay, and we are going to just stick this now on top of the jar, like so. Okay, so Jay has put down the measurements for you in inches, and for both US and UK.
Yeah, I've converted the US and Canada one for your own card bases, so I'll just double check.
Say louder.
Oh, I've converted the US and the Canadian one so it fits your own not A4 your sheet of paper as well. So use your normal card bases, and I'll double check the measurements for the Whisper White Thick and the DSP in a second.
Okay, so I'm also going to be taking the stems as well, and I'm going to be doing that in the grey granite. So I'm going to get that inked up, and I'm going to pop that into the jar. Okay, and we will pop that at the base of the flowers, like so. And that's that. Okay. So I'm gonna go straight in and do the I'll go and do the water for you, and then that's pretty much all of my stamping done. So I'm going to show you the reversible side of this now, and then we will then do the colouring of the flowers. So I'm going to take the smaller one, so I can fill the entire jar up with water if I wanted to, but I'm actually just want a little bit of water at the bottom. So instead of putting it onto my jar, onto my block where the normal way as you would stamp, so where you get the liner, I'm going to turn it round so it's the solid image. Okay, I'm just going to give that a clean just to make sure that there's no debris, i.e. cat hairs, on this. And I am going to just get myself a bit of scrap paper because I need to work out. So I'm going to stamp that down. I need to work out if I want to do this in a first or a second generation. So that's going to be a first, and that will be a second. I'm going to do second generation because I want it to just, I don't want the water to be too intense. So I just want it to be a subtle colour. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to then line it up here, and I'm going to pop my water into my jar like that.
Nice.
So you can see now that's how we've got it. So that's a perfect fit for the actual back. So that's what the reversible. So if you think stuff like that, you don't understand it, hopefully that's done that for you. So if you see, explain that. So if you see these images in the catalogue, these solid ones, it means it's reversible, so you can use the back side of it.
Esther asked, do you prefer the chamois or the stamp?
I tend to still grab my the Stampin' Scrub an awful lot, Esther, if I'm honest with you. Even though I did go through a stage a little while ago where I grabbed chamois constantly. But I suppose the good old scrub is what I stick with.
I just use whatever.
So there is my stamping done. All right. So I'm going to now move over onto the colouring side of things. So I'm going to grab my colours. So I know I'm going to be using the Cinnamon Cider. I'm going to be using a bit Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, and Just Jade. Misty Moonlight I'm not actually going to be using on this. So I've got my 4 colours. Now, what you can do, you can either, what some people do, because I don't want to do it yet on this, you can either squish the lid down, which will then transfer some of the ink from this pad over into the lid, and you can pick up your colouring there. But if you don't want to do that, grab yourself another block, open up all of your inks, and then you just want to just make yourself up a little colour palette. So I'm going to do my Just Jade on one, I'm going to take my Bumblebee, and I'm going to then put that over onto, I'm going to do quite a lot of Bumblebee because I do need to use a lot of that one. Because I'm using water as well, so if you do it in the lid and you put too much water in your lid, you then run the risk of maybe contaminating your ink pad. We've never, oh, sugar.
Well, thanks, I guess.
That nearly went really wrong. Jay, can you give me a hand, please? Because I'm just going to drop the Magenta Madness everywhere, and I'm inky. Luckily I didn't drop it on the and I had to pick the colour which stains the most, didn't I? Drop the colour which stains everything.
It's fine. It's coming on.
You might just want to just do that as well. Right, so I've now got to make sure I don't transfer all of this colour to my lovely project.
So that's why you need the chamois.
Okay, so grab your water painters. So I'm going to be using the fine tip one out of the three of them. And I've got my colour, I've got my palette here now. So all I need to do is I just want to, can I actually have a bit of tissue paper, Joe? That's the only thing I didn't get
Tissue
myself.
paper.
Yeah, just so, or something I can, so I can block the water on. See, it's great having an assistant because if I forget stuff, I just go, you get this for me. So a bit of tissue paper. Okay, and this is just so I can blot, because if I'm going to squeeze the water out, and if it comes out too heavy, I can then just I can take some bits off it, and it's also another way of cleaning the brush afterwards. So I've just dripped a bit of water into my tissue, and I'm just going to just pick a little bit of this ink up, and all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to colour this in. Because it's not watercolour paper, it will bleed in, and it will quite quickly. And so you kind of just need to be confident and just go with it. But you are going to get some stronger and darker areas if you're doing it this way. But I quite liked it because it gave it more texture. So as you build this up, you'll see. So I'm just going to just move that ink around. So I'm using this as a bit of a colour palette.
Come on.
Like so. And then I'm going to then just colour in these just gently into the little leaves over here and over here as well. And with these ones here, it's kind of just want to roughly go into it. And then I'm just kind of like just dotting up to the top, so there's no real things which you can follow, but I'm just putting the green in there just so it looks fine. Okay, and that's that. All right, and I will also use some of this as well for the stems here. So I'm kind of being quite quick now and just drawing this down. Because it's water and it's on the card, like I say, it soaks in quite quickly, so you just need to be confident, just need to go with it. Otherwise, if you take your time with it too much and go, it's gonna, all of the ink's gonna just soak in straight away. So just get it on there. So if you're using watercolor card, it will work a little bit differently.
Emma said use alcohol wipes to help remove color off your table.
Thank you.
We don't have alcohol wipes. Since we got the chamois, even baby wipes, we don't.
And I'm kind of just using this bit here, which is the bit which is already watered down, so it's not as intense. So that's that. So that's good. So that's into that one, and then when you want to, you can pick up a little bit of the dark, and then you can then just add some shadows into this as well.
Yeah, Emma, that's what I just got from our cupboard, rubbing alcohol. We'll try it off afterwards.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's that part. And you can see as it dries dries a little bit lighter as well. So I'm just going to use my bit of tissue here just to wipe off the excess colour, and I will then move on to the next one. So I'm going to pick up some of the Magenta Madness here. This is quite a strong colour, so I'm just taking a little bit out and bleeding it out a little bit, and then I'm just going to use this for colouring in this flower here. That's that one, and I'm going to use it for colouring on these little buds over here, and up there. Okay, that's those little bits to clean it up. You can see I put quite a lot of ink on this block actually. I don't need as much. So if you're doing a lot of colouring, then you don't need to use as much as this. And with the cinnamon cider here, I'm going to bring that in. Now, when I put on my practice run earlier on, I noticed I needed quite a bit of this. So, I needed to be confident because I'm covering in a large surface area here. So I need to kind of go in and get it in there as quickly as possible to stop it from blotching. And just need to pick a bit more up there. That's the centre of the flowers. Give that a clean up, and then we'll move over onto the lovely bumblebee. So we will just start to colour these in. You can see, and I'm just being quite rough with it. I'm not really following it. So I'm trying not to go out, obviously outside the lines over here, but this side, I'm just colouring it in. If I get some white little patches, I'm not worrying about it. I think as long as the whole thing looks the same, so it looks rough and it's got white patches throughout the whole thing, it looks normal in my eyes. That's what I tell myself anyway. That's it. So then we're colouring these other ones. So who colours like this normally, or do you normally use your trusty blends now? I was going to use the blends, but I thought no, I wanted to show you the pen. I wanted to show you these lovely water painters, and how you can colour with them as well. You just need to make sure you're using the correct paper. I did do this. I did do a practice run, and I did do it on normal Whisper White. And it still worked, it's fine, but I did notice that it sucked up the water really quickly, whereas the thick just gives you a little bit of room, and the sorry, what were we going to say?
And the watercolor would give you more time to spread it out.
Yeah, that's it. So that's that one.
It looks lovely with all the ink colors.
Thank you. You sound surprised.
Ow.
I think the ink colours this year are absolutely amazing. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, has anyone got a favorite color? We're still deciding.
Yeah, tell us your favourites. I think definitely it's obviously Magenta Madness. I just think because it's just bright, it's just in your face, it's just lovely. But I'm quite liking this bumblebee as well.
Yeah, I think my favorite would be Magenta Madness. Then Just Jade. Oh no, Misty Moonlight.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, Misty Moonlight, you know, is sort of like, yes, I think it's going to be a Misty Moonlight and Magenta Madness.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed a little bit of the cinnamon cider up here, so I'm going to just grab that one again. And we'll just colour that in. That's that one. Okay, so now once you've done your first bits of colour, what you can now do is you can now pick up some of the darker. So come in again here, and this is where you can kind of now just draw some of these shadows in here a little bit if you wanted to. So depending on how arty you wanted to get now, you can just pop in some different lines, and that will add a little bit more texture to this as well.
It sounds like everyone's finding it hard to just choose one color.
Yeah.
But Stampin' Up's done really well with these in colors because all of them just looks amazing. Tommy.
So yeah, I'm just adding some contrasty colours to this now. And then we'll take up the Magenta Madness here, and we're just adding some different, where I think some more shadows will be. Okay. So I'm just kind of blotting this now. I'm just kind of dipping it into it and just, and then with the Bumblebee again, we do this. I'm just going to add some stronger lines in here. So this is my version of watercolouring. I've in no way have I got any technical skills or with this, but you just, I think the images make it quite easy. You follow the lines, that's how I do it anyway. Follow the lines a little bit where the shading may be, potentially, but just work with it, and I'm sure it will come out nicely.
Looks amazing. My favorite bit is the water. No, kidding.
Rude.
I'm joking.
The bit I didn't actually colour.
That's why I said it.
And this is why I'm loving these brushes as well, because they are, this fine one is absolutely perfect for colouring.
It feels longer than the aqua painters, the
Yeah.
previous version. So you can get really fine details on there. And I can't wait to try the flat nib.
Yes, I'm looking forward to trying that one. I haven't played with that one yet.
Yeah. To do some stripes.
So yeah, so we're just coming to an end now on this colouring side of things.
Hey Tommy, did you want to get that?
So that's just added a little bit more, and as it dries, it will be a bit more subtle. So there we go. That's my colouring right there. So, and that's just using yours. So you can turn any ink pad you've got into. You can colour with it by doing this. So make yourself up a little palette. I'm trying not to drop it right on top of my work. That'd be good. Grab yourself some aqua paint, the water painters, and a bit of tissue just to clean it and blot it off. And that's all I'm going to do for cleaning that. And that's done. And I'll just pop my lid back on and I'll pop it back in my lovely case. So that's that side of it done. So I'm going to now just start to assemble this card up, and then I'm going to then do the sentiment and use that lovely labels punch. And Jay likes to move stuff.
I moved it because you were pushing it.
What else? Okay, so that's going to go...
Shall I move that away?
You can do. So I'm just going to just... And Jay always laughs at me as well the way I put my glue. Who else squiggles their glue? It can't just be me. I can like go down and down and I go squiggle, squiggle, squiggle in the middle.
Squiggle, squiggle.
It can't just be me. But Jay laughs at me. He started laughing the other day whilst I was watching a video of me. And I thought, well, what are you laughing at? He said, I'm just laughing at you putting the glue on a bit of paper.
Squiggle, squiggle.
So that's going over that part there. So I've chosen the bumblebee base for this one because of the bumblebee is in the colour of the flowers. But I also liked it the fact that we had the contrast with the Just Jade here, which then separated it quite nicely. Okay, and then that is going to then go get stuck on like that here. And then we will just move on to the sentiment and then we will be done.
Hi, Connie.
So let's see, lines around there and then squiggle, squiggle down the middle.
Sharon's also
You're a squiggler. We can be squigglers together. Okay, and then that's just going to go on. So I'm just giving that as a nice border. So that's that part right there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to one side for a moment. So I'm going to grab my Just Jade cardstock. And again, I only need a tiny bit here because I only need whatever is on this here. So I will start off with, I'm going to go with my Whisper White part. So I've got my Whisper White bit. Now this is the three quarters of an inch or the 1.9 centimeters, and I'm going to use this pattern this side here. So I just slide it, and would help if I actually opened up the punch though, wouldn't it? So I just slide this in and it goes in that track. I push it in until it goes, it won't go any further, but if you want to, you can turn it over and just double check that it's gone all the way in. Then we punch it, and then we get a lovely end this side here. Okay, if I show you that the other side as well, which is this one. Which is that one. So I'd say this is a little bit more detailed. I would say this one here is, I would say, really nice, probably for mail cards as well. As if you need a mail tag, because it's, I would say this is a little bit more, because it's angled.
It's more ornate.
Yes, more ornate. Okay, there's a good word. And this is a bit more mail, potentially.
Simple.
Simple. Yes. Just like the mail, simple. So that's that. But I'm going to use the ornate end, okay, and I'm going to grab my basic grey, and I'm going to grab the sentiment from the Comfort and Hope. So sending you a paper hug, I thought was absolutely lovely.
If you are enjoying yourselves, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That will just help our channel grow as well. That'll be amazing. Thanks.
And I'm just gonna, how far down can I go? That's it. And I'm just gonna pop that in.
This is right. Breathe in.
I am breathing in as well. And there we go. We're gonna have that like that. So sending you a paper hug. So which is lovely. So what you could do, if I had a trimmer, but a cat has decided to lay on the trimmer. Come on, Tommy. That's it. What you could do is we could trim this down. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give myself a little bit of playroom here, and I'm going to show you. But this isn't what I'm going to actually do. So you can do that. You can then pop it into the other sides, and that's then when you can make yourself a nice banner. Obviously, I would have centered that in there. So it doesn't matter how long the sentiment is, really. It's just really, I suppose it's dependent on how much you can push in. But if you can't push it, if you're working on a really small bit, you'll just want to have another bit which is smaller here and be able to like attach it with like a bit of a sticky note or something sticky that you can then pull it back out again. So that's that. But that's how the punch works, and that works both sides. But I'm not actually going to do both sides. I want one side to be flat. So I'm just going to pop it in my trimmer, and I'm just going to take this down to, and I'm eyeballing this. I'm going to take it to there. What?
You could have like took note of how big it was.
Well, okay, it's about 4.4 centimeters, which is 1 3/4 inches.
Thank you.
Just got told off. You gave me an evil look, so you could have made note of that. So that's that one, and then with the Just Jade, I'm going to use this again for the backing of this. So I'm going to say I literally do need only a small part. So if I'm going to use this exactly how this is meant to work, I've done a 3/4 inch. So the next one up will be 1 inch, or 1.9 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. So I need a strip now, which is 1 inch, and I'm going to show you exactly how this works. I'm going to take an entire 1 inch strip off.
Hi, Shawana. You like slamming that guard, don't you?
And then this goes in. Oh, it would help if I put it in the right pattern.
You got a long piece, it's fine. I thought you were just showing that one.
And then we take that off like that. And then that adds a nice layer on that like this. Okay. If you wanted to, you could always, so I'm just going to snip this down so it's giving me a little bit of, because that's the one which so that's how it's designed to work. So you can have it in the contrasting colour, okay, and then you've got the same pattern, so really, really nice. What I've also done, this might be a little bit too thick, so this is where you need to manipulate it a little bit. So this is a 1 inch, so I'm going to take it down to 3/4. I'm just going to take a bit off again, so that I can. I'm going to take this to 3/4 inch, but I'm going to take it a little bit bigger. I'm going to take it to. Let's see if this works. I'm going to take it to 7/8.
Mm-hmm.
I must have cut that paper a bit more. Mustn't I?
That's fine. You're gonna cut it down anyway, as long as one side is straight. If you find the guard moves the paper when you close it, I use washi tape
Yeah.
just to hold it down.
Or I just put it up there, and then I try and put a bit of pressure down.
Slam it down.
Slam it down.
Slam it.
All right. So this here is in between sizes now. So it's not your 1 inch, but it's not your 3/4. And I've just done this just so that you can still push it in. But all you want to do is you kind of want to make sure that you eyeball it and you get it so that you've got an equal gap. So if I can show that up there, so you've got an equal gap either side. and then punch it down. That will then give you a smaller piece. So if you wanted that border to be slightly smaller, you can do. I suppose actually on my prototype I did it even smaller than that. So can I? Let's show you again. So it was, I'm literally going to take it to 1/8 of an inch bigger than
So it's 13/16 of an inch.
So you can manipulate this to your liking. Oh, battery.
Oh.
So you just need to push it in. The problem is that it will be, so you can't need to. Again, push it in so it's centered all the way to the end there, and then clip it down. So you'll still get your end here, but you get a much smaller border. So it depends on how you want it to be. So you can make it smaller if you want. So you can have some thinner lines. I've probably gone a little bit too, I've probably gone a little bit too thin on that particular one. So I'm going to go with the next one, the middle one, which I did.
Just to say, we got 22 names down for the random draw at the end of the video. If you are watching, don't forget to say hello. So I'll add you onto our list.
So I'm going to go with the middle one, but no, you know, I'm going to go with the first one. I just wanted to show you how it was. So I'm going to go with it actually how it is designed, with having the bigger border around it. So I'm going to pop but you can do it, but what I wanted to do is I just wanted to show you that you can manipulate your punches by putting smaller pieces in it. Obviously you just need to work it a little bit more, but you can do it. So we will pop that in like so there. Okay, and then I will grab my scissors and I'm just going to create this. So I'll give myself a little border like that.
Nice.
Okay, and that there is pretty much just going to get put onto some dimensionals, which is right there in front of me.
Didn't move it.
All right, and use your dimensionals. We use every single piece.
We didn't color it though.
But we haven't coloured the ends. That's it. So that's going to go on, take those little bits off there. And then that's going to go on, then to finish it off we will put some embellishments. So I'm going to put that over like this. Okay, and then to finish off we'll grab the embellishments. So what colour embellishment should we use on this one? Oh, decisions. So I think because we've got the bumblebee and the flowers and we've got the Just Jade on the background here, I'm kind of like thinking, but I quite like the idea of maybe highlighting but I'm maybe thinking just bumblebee maybe. All decisions.
I was gonna say Misty Moonlight, just so you
Was
have
you
all
really?
of the 5 in colors in there.
Was you really?
Or
Okay.
or Magenta Madness, because I do love the hints of the magenta on there.
Oh, let's have a little look. So take your pick tool, putty end, and you slide the gem off, and
I won't look because you'd be like,
down like that. I'm going to go where I put them on my initial card. So if Jay doesn't like my prototype card, then I would, if I was, I would clump load the top two together a bit more. If
Yeah.
I,
hey Tommy.
roughly in the same position, but so I'm then going to pop one there, and then pop
Any
one
more
there.
comments from you people?
So yeah, I actually quite, it was a good call with Misty Moonlight. I think it's just, you've got every single colour has been used in this card, and I think the Misty Moonlight just adds another element to it. So there we go, there is my watercoloured jar of flowers, sunflower. Using up the lovely flowers for every season designer series paper, and that's that. So really, really simple, nice colouring, and using a great tool, your water painters. Get your hands on these quickly. I think once people start to realise how good they are, I think they're going to sell quite quickly. So yeah, that's that. So we're going to do a drawing in a second, so I can show you my first card, which I did now. That was my first one. So I've done this one in some different colours. So this is using the Misty Moonlight and using the bright designer series paper here. And I've done it, it didn't quite work when I did it. This is what I was trying to achieve. So you need to cut it so it's ever so slightly bigger than your stamped image, but enough so that you can actually give you just a nice hint of the colour around it. Whereas you can see on the one which I've done there, it's using it as it's designed, it's quite chunky. So again, you've got the punch, how it's designed to work, but you can also manipulate it to actually make it do even more for you as well. So look at your punches slightly differently. So that's that. So we're going to flip the camera around in a second, and we are going to do a drawing, and somebody, if you live in the UK, will win this card. If you live outside of the UK, we are going to send you a tutorial free of charge. So stay tuned, and we're going to do a drawing live. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning one of the card or a tutorial, you need to leave a comment, because it's your names from the comments I'm going to take. And Jay's going to show you a beautiful project in a moment.
Beautiful.
Yeah, really, really nice project. A bit of home decor as well. So good, let's flip you around.
Hi.
Good.
So I've put all of the names in the notes section, and Bars is gonna do the drawing. So before he does that, just wanted to quickly show you floating home decor. This is gonna be for the Stamp Review crew, and we are highlighting and showcasing the Daisy Lane stamp set. So I've used on this one forever flourishing dies. And look how cute! Pampered Pets. So if you don't already know, we're actually doing our first online retreat on July the 5th. And you will get the Pampered Pet stamp set, as well as items from the Playful Pet Suite. And we are doing the last chance booking at 9 p.m. tonight. So if you live in the UK, you can get the stamp set and the products from the suite, and join us for our online retreat. It is open globally as well. So you will need your own stamp set and items from the suite as well. But yes, so details on that will be on our blog, mitosocrafts.com. But have a look and book soon. Well, book tonight if you are interested. Yes. We've already got quite a few people in there, and we're doing it with three other demonstrators in the UK. So yes, cool. But yes, look, so cute.
Excellent.
And then I did another one with cinnamon cider, and that's using the paint,
Is
the
that
water
using the
painter.
water painters as
yeah,
well?
and cinnamon cider, and that looks like the designer series paper as well. So it does it just colors really well.
Cool. Excellent. All right, so we are going to pick the random winner now. Let's pop everyone's names in. I think we have got everyone there now. So bear with me whilst I input those names.
Cool.
Let's flip you round.
Ooh.
Okay, we have everyone's names there. I am going
Good luck,
to
everyone.
23 names, and we're going to pick a winner right now. And the winner of a card or a tutorial is...
Boom, boom, boom. Dorinda Colvin. Yeah, congratulations. Give us a message and let us know where you're from so we know. Ooh, tail, mouth. Yes, so whichever we send you. So congratulations to Dorinda again. Thanks everyone for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you again soon.
Yes, Wednesday, 7
Yes.
o'clock. Good.
On our
Excellent.
Facebook page.
On our Facebook, yes. Thanks guys for watching.
Cool.
Okay, and yeah, we'll see you very soon.
Take
care,
care.
guys. See you soon.
Happy
Bye.
stamping.
Bye.
Bye.